Fresh off his narrow re-election victory Tuesday over Nate McMurray, Congressman Chris Collins finally agreed to answer questions today from 7 Eyewitness News. He sat down one-on-one with our Ed Drantch, and during the course of our interview, he called McMurray a buffoon and said the insider trading charges he's facing are meritless.
Clearly, there's a black cloud that I've got to deal with in 2020. That's a long ways away. That was promoted by the media and also promoted by my opponent. And while those issues are real, they don't impact me doing my job.
Congressman Chris Collins blames the media in some cases for not carrying Erie County in his re-election defeat of Democrat Nate McMurray. Collins lost Erie County 51 to 47%, but picked up enough support elsewhere to edge out his opponent.
What people will see, unlike the narrative that was promoted by the media, which I'll be hard-pressed to do my job, that's nonsense. So actions speak louder than words.
McMurray is calling for a recount, considering there's a 3,000 or so margin between both candidates. Collins had some choice words for McMurray.
Nate McMurray is a buffoon. Him saying I'm calling for this is ludicrous. It's the way it's always been done. We always count every vote. But we can't do it on election night, can we? Yet they declare winners on election night, don't they? And then they certify them after the fact.
With a razor-thin margin and, again, the loss of Erie County, why not just debate him during the campaign?
That was not part of my strategy. And if you bring up something like this, I'll throw it right back at you. It's a biased question, and it's unfair.
Where's the bias, though? Explain.
Why don't you ask the question of Brian Higgins?
Well, we're talking here one-on-one. I mean, you asked us to come here.
Well, because you have two sets of questions depending on the leanings of the media.
We'll ask Brian Higgins the same question when it comes up. But why didn't you debate Nate McMurray?
Because it wasn't part of my strategy. I had a winning strategy and I won.
Despite the win, as Collins mentions, there is a black cloud hanging over him with those insider trading charges.
We see you on the phone at the White House when you're accused of calling your son, alerting him to the negative results of this study. What was your conversation with him? I'm
not going to get into my to the charges against me. The facts will come out. These are meritless charges that have been.
How can you say they're meritless, though, and not get into the specifics?
Because you're not the judge, you're not the jury, and I'm not going to get into them with you.
Well, don't you think that you at least owe an explanation to Western New Yorkers?
I will discuss. My day in court will be coming. I am not going to discuss the case or try the case in the public. I'm not going to do it.
Even with these charges, Collins says his job in Washington will not be impacted.
Until I've got my day in court, which is in 2020, I will not miss any vote unless I'm snowed in Buffalo.
Ed Drantch, 7 Eyewitness News.
Well, we did ask Congressman Higgins why he didn't debate his opponent in his re-election bid. His campaign responded by saying Higgins regularly makes himself available to the public and the media and appears openly and transparently throughout Western New York. The campaign adds Higgins took part in 5 public candidates events leading up to the election.